In this video, we'll discuss universal basic income and the increasing necessity to introduce universal basic income in the developed countries. When the government provides a basic income to all citizens of the country without any conditions attached, it is termed as universal basic income. It is a form of social security. There is increasing debate in the developed countries about the introduction of universal basic income. The combination of four factors: globalization, outsourcing, automation, and the increasing adaptation and use of artificial intelligence is taking a growing toll on the low-income and middle-class sections of the society in developed countries, which is prompting the debate for the introduction of universal basic income. Manufacturing employment has decreased in most developed countries, including Canada and the US. In Canada, manufacturing employment has decreased by more than 300,000 between 2004 and 2008, according to Statistics Canada. In the US, 5.8 million manufacturing workers lost their employment between 1999 and 2011, according to a paper written by Otter, Dorn, and Hansen. This indicates the impact that globalization, outsourcing, and automation had on US and Canadian manufacturing employment. Even though new jobs were created, some of the unemployed manufacturing workers may have found it difficult to find employment in other industries. This could have been due to lack of skills and not enough opportunities, including financing opportunities for retraining of the unemployed workers. This might have led to lower income and standard of living for the unemployed workers, and some might have even fallen into poverty. While the manufacturing sector is expected to shrink as an economy matures, it is creating significant manufacturing unemployment in the advanced economies. Even though retraining the unemployed workers is important, it is a reality that there will simply not be enough jobs to employ the relatively low-skilled unemployed workers, as many of these companies, typically manufacturing companies, move their production to low-wage destinations, while automation reduces the number of workers required in the production processes. Again, the increasing adaptation and use of artificial intelligence is also taking a toll on employment in the developed countries. These four factors, globalization and outsourcing, which are economic changes, and automation and artificial intelligence, which are technological changes, are leading to unemployment among the low-income and middle-class sections of the society in developed countries, especially among the low-income and low-skilled section of the society. The impact of artificial intelligence on employment may become more pronounced when driverless cars and trucks become more widely used. While these four factors have adversely affected some segments of the society, others have tremendously benefited from them, leading to rising income inequality in the advanced economies, which is undesirable. Also, a large pool of unemployed people can lead to social and political instability, angst and anger of the unemployed, and adversely affected low-income and middle-class sections of the society have led to the rise and popularity of right-wing politics. Again, reduced income of the low income and middle class may have dampened consumption and expenditure by these sections of the society. Considering the challenges that these four factors have created and may create in the future, it is prudent to introduce universal basic income in the developed countries. It will help the adversely affected workers and their families to have decent standard of living. This will reduce or even eliminate poverty. With higher levels of income, people will be in better health, leading to lower healthcare costs and healthier workers. Also, they may be more inclined to access and afford education. This may lead to healthier, more skilled, and competent workers. Again, the buffer created by universal basic income may encourage people to pursue entrepreneurship and take risks in being self-employed and start businesses. This may increase business activity and employment in the country. As it will increase the income of the low income and middle class, universal basic income will reduce income inequality. With its introduction, the disenfranchised workers and their families will have decent standard of living that will contribute to higher levels of social and political stability. This will stem the rise and popularity of right-wing politics that has affected some developed countries. Again, with higher income, the low income and middle class may consume and spend more. Higher levels of consumption and expenditure will stimulate the economies of developed countries. One argument against universal basic income is that it may make people less inclined to work. But research has shown that its introduction has little effect on the number of hours worked. It added that even the people who worked less became involved in alternative work valuable to the society. There are several countries that have considered as well as experimented with universal basic income. Finland is the first European country to conduct a 2-year social experiment to understand the effectiveness of introducing universal basic income. In Canada, Ontario is planning to run a trial of universal basic income. Even though 2/3 of the respondents in a poll of 1,500 Canadians were open to the idea of basic income, most were unwilling to pay higher tax to finance the program. This is a challenge to governments and policymakers trying to implement universal basic income. Also, Silicon Valley has become a supporter of universal basic income, realizing the job-replacing effect of technology. The combination of globalization, outsourcing, automation, and the increasing adaptation and use of artificial intelligence is creating significant challenges in the developed countries. This makes the introduction of universal basic income an increasingly viable policy option. It will generate numerous benefits like reducing or eliminating poverty, to foster greater social and political stability in the developed countries. Also, research has shown that it has limited effect on the number of hours worked. One concern of universal basic income is the way in which it will be financed. As respondents from a poll in Canada show, people are unwilling to pay higher tax to finance the program. Without increasing income tax, governments can get increasing revenues from corporate tax and by encouraging corporations to bring their overseas profits to their home countries at attractive tax rates, generating tax revenues to finance the program of universal basic income. Also, governments can save funds as universal basic income will replace other social programs. Finally, healthier population will lead to lower health care costs, so that governments have to spend less on public health care, sparing funds which can be redirected to finance universal basic income.